Any discussion of American muscle cars would be incomplete if it didn't include the Chevy Camaro. Along with a few vehicles like the Ford Mustang and the Dodge Challenger, the Camaro is one of America's most iconic coupes. Rear-wheel drive, big V8 engine up front, and away we go. Hi, I'm Travis from Edmunds. At Edmunds, we painstakingly test and review hundreds of cars, trucks, and SUVs each year. While at the same time, CarMax buys, sells, and expertly appraises thousands upon thousands. We've combined our testing knowledge with CarMax's experience to help you make the right choice for your next car. Before we get started, hit like and subscribe to see more CarMax videos. And if you want more information on the Chevy Camaro or any of its competitors, click the link in the description below. The Chevy Camaro has been in production since the 1960s, with only a few small gaps in available model years, including one in the early 2000s. We're taking a look at a 2019 Camaro, which is the debut year of the mid-cycle refresh of this 6th generation, which appeared in 2016. You get these new front and rear bumpers, plus restyled headlights and taillights. This particular one is an SS with the big engine, a 6.2-liter V8 that's pumping out a whole lot of power and torque. Sure, there's a supercharged version of this engine that puts out 650 horsepower, but even this naturally aspirated version of the V8 is seriously fun. The Camaro is available as a coupe or as a convertible. Both have 4 seats, and both are going to come with rear-wheel drive only. But how do those versions of the Camaro stack up against rivals? And what if you want something other than a big, shouty V8? And what if you want to daily drive the Camaro? On the inside, the biggest change was the addition of Chevy's newest infotainment system for 2019 called Chevrolet Infotainment 3. And it added more functionality plus more smartphone connectivity. So for 2019 and newer models, you get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard. 2020 and 2021 models are slightly different, but the biggest changes will be with feature availability. For instance, in 2021, a wireless smartphone connection became standard. A nice little upgrade, but no major physical changes. In this generation of the Camaro, you'll find plenty of space up front for your average-sized adult. All the controls and dials are within reach, and most of the interior surfaces are lined with nice materials, especially on this SS. But there's a problem with functionality. Lots of the controls on the Camaro's interior are in strange and hard to reach locations, like this row of climate control buttons that are like under the dash? What is that? And then there's the air conditioning controls itself. The temperature is here, the fan is here, and if you're riding along with your arm on the center console, your hand just gets really cold. How helpful is that? Then there's visibility. Sure, sleek sport coupe, you expect to have slim windows. It comes with the territory of design, right? But in the Camaro, there are big pillars, there's a big blind spot, and there are tiny windows all around. It generally means poor outward visibility in every direction. If you can find one, we recommend looking for a Camaro with the optional blind spot monitor, because you will thank yourself for it later. Outside of the front seats, space is at a premium. Cargo capacity in the Camaro is just straight up bad. This coupe has 9.1 cubic feet of cargo space, and if you go with the convertible, that drops to 7.3 cubes. Whoa! That, compared to a Mustang of the same model year, I mean, the coupe and convertible Mustang numbers are 13.5 and 11.4 cubes respectively. That's 50% more than the Camaro in either version. No kidding, we were testing a convertible Camaro at Edmunds a while back, and I had to pick up a friend at the airport. They brought a large, hard-shell suitcase for a week of travel, and I couldn't fit it in the trunk of the Camaro. We had to drop the top and put it in the back seat. Not super useful. If you're thinking of fitting adult friends in the back seat of the Camaro, think again. If I put the seat in the position I'd like to drive in up front, there's zero room for my legs in the back. Think of the back seat like a place for extra luggage, or small children though, and then it starts to make a bit more sense. But hey, who cares about passengers, right? Especially when you've got a 6.2-liter V8 under the hood. Let's take this thing out for a drive. so there are some concerns with ergonomics, but the Camaro is still a joy to drive. There were 4 available engines in 2019. There's the standard V6, there's an optional turbocharged 4-cylinder, then there's the 6.2 liter V8 that's under the hood of this car, and if you want to go a little bit bonkers, there's an optional 6.2 liter V8 with a supercharger on top. And all 4 of those engines could be had with a manual or an automatic. EPA fuel economy estimates range depending on the engine you choose. As you'd probably expect, the V8s are the lowest, ranging from 16 MPG combined on the high-performance supercharged model up to 20 MPG combined with the naturally aspirated V8. Go with the V6 or the Turbo 4, and the EPA estimates pop up as high as 22 or 25 MPG combined. Not bad for a muscle car. Not great, but not bad. Depending on the trim you get, the Camaro can inch itself closer and closer to being a racetrack dedicated car. It's got lots of fun go fast parts. But we like the SS trim because we think it balances really well fun weekend driving characteristics and the ability to drive it on a daily basis without beating you up too much. Handling in the Camaro is excellent. It changes direction quickly and it feels connected to the road. All the engines feel like they've got decent grunt, but the big 6.2 liter V8 is real good. It's got lots of good noises, plenty of power for pulling away on the street. It's just fun. What's great too is that it's docile when you're not throttle happy. The seats, they're supportive and well padded, and the ride quality is smooth. Overall, the Camaro's excellent to drive if you don't pay too close attention to the small stuff. Pro tip, if you can get a Camaro with the optional magnetic ride control suspension, go for it. It soaks up most of the big bumps and it totally shrugs off the little stuff, giving you a great ride quality and fun performance driving characteristics. Okay, this thing's fun to drive, but let's stop for a moment and talk about tech. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention how bad some of the Camaro's driver aids are. When it comes to stuff like adaptive cruise control, the Camaro doesn't even have it. I mean, there's not even an option for it. You can get stuff like blind spot monitoring and forward collision warning, but you have to go all the way up to the 3LT trims, and depending on model years, even some of that stuff is optional. I mean, I get it. If you want the purest version of a driver's car, less bings and bongs, things that'll make you feel less connected to the road or more old school, sure, get one without those driver aids, but at least give me the option, you know? Well, back out to driving. There's a lot of stuff that the Camaro gets right. It's available with a number of different engines, a bunch of high-performance parts, and you can get it in a couple different configurations. There's probably one that fits your lifestyle just right. And there's no denying that it's fun to drive. But of the modern muscle cars, amongst stuff like the Ford Mustang and the Dodge Challenger, it's the least practical of the bunch. Visibility is bad, tech is behind the times, and cargo space is lacking. If you can get over those small hurdles though, we think this Chevy with an iconic nameplate can make a compelling companion for city commutes and highway drives alike. For more information on the Camaro, click the link in the description below, and for more CarMax videos, hit like and subscribe. Now it's time for me to get in and go for a few more laps before the sun goes down.